Hi, it's me again, and there's a new TV licence letter doing the rounds. You lot have sent this one to me hundreds of times over the last couple of weeks, so I thought it's time we talk about it and we can let everybody know what to do about it if they receive it. So let's take a look. So this is the letter here that you lot have been sending me in your droves, and you can see right at the top my new favourite line on these TV licence letters, right under the logo, visit authorised. I love it. Now I know they're not scary, it just makes me laugh. But maybe you've got this and you're a bit concerned about all of that. So let's break it down and I'll let you know that it's not very scary at all. As we haven't heard from you, an officer will visit your property soon. Scary. They must have run out of red ink though. That's normally written in red, isn't it? But yeah, we will talk about that. Let's get a bit further into the letter and then I'll talk about that bit. Dear Sir/Madam, your property is unlicensed. No. An officer has now been scheduled to visit this address to confirm your circumstances. Right, so let's just take the top two lines because that's where all the scary is at the minute, isn't it? So as we haven't heard from you, an officer will visit your property soon. Now, you don't have to have a TV licence. If you're new to all this, there's no law saying you have to have a TV licence. I don't have a TV licence. I've got tellies all through the house. I watch loads of telly, enjoy a bit of telly. Who doesn't, right? So why are they visiting my property? You don't have to speak to them. If they write you a letter saying, do you want to buy a licence? You don't have to reply. You can just bin the letter. Most people do. Well, we haven't heard from you, sign off. We're going to send our boys round. Talk to us or we'll send our boys round. That's basically what they're saying. They're trying to intimidate you into paying for their licence. And then the first line of the main bit of the letter, look. Your property is unlicensed. Yes, it's unlicensed through choice because I don't require a television licence. A television licence is required to watch or record anything as it's being broadcast or to use BBC iPlayer. If you don't do any of those things, a licence is not required. So why is my property classed as unlicensed? It should be classed as I don't want your licence. An officer has now been scheduled to visit this address to confirm your circumstances. They don't have any right to confirm anything because you don't have to tell them you don't require a licence. That is awful. Awful. And I don't know how they get away with these letters and they're calling them an officer. They're not officers. They're not officers of anything. They are door-to-door salesmen. And many people think that these officers have some kind of power. They can knock on your door and they can come in and they can check your telly or they've got TV licence detective vans. They haven't got none of that. They haven't got any powers at all. They're no more powerful than you or I. They're door-to-door salesmen. And the best way to treat a door-to-door salesman selling something you don't want, a scam product, is to close the door on them. It's that simple, isn't it? As I've said 1,000 times on this channel before, you open the door and say, hello, who are you? Hello, I'm from TV licensing. No, thank you. Close the door. Done. They go away. There is no more they can do. They're not officers. They're door-to-door salesmen. Please don't be scared of them. No matter how intimidating they try and act. Look at this channel. There's loads of videos about how to deal with them. And I've got loads of videos. People just close the door in the face and they toddle off. And you won't hear any more from them. Do not talk to them and never ever let one into your property. Never. Do not do it. You will get stitched up. They earn commission. That's how they earn their salary. Commission. So they're incentivized to stitch you up so they can earn their commission. Ignore them. Close the door. Don't talk to them. Why you are being visited. We must ensure that everyone who needs a licence has one. Well, why don't you lead with that? That big bit at the top where it says, as we haven't heard from you, why don't you write a nice letter for once and put, we must ensure that everyone who needs a licence has one. That would be a nice heading line to have on the letter, not threatening, and they're just finding out if you require a licence or not. Wouldn't that be better? Come on, TV licence, that'd be better, wouldn't it? If you're watching or recording programmes that are being shown on online TV, so download or watching BBC programmes on iPlayer, blah, 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 as we said earlier. If an officer finds you to be watching, recording or downloading TV illegally, you risk prosecution and a fine. Now, how is an officer going to find that information? There is only one way, because remember, they're not allowed to enter your property without your permission or they get a warrant, which is rare. So there's only one way they can find that out, and that's you telling them. Now, I don't condone you doing things you shouldn't be doing without a television licence. I don't do it, and I don't want you to do it. But these people earn commission. They're brilliant at twisting words and they're brilliant at stitching people up. And the longer you talk to them on your doorstep, the more trouble you could get in. Okay, I'll put a link below to a story on TV Licence Resistance Forum that I was reading last week, where that exact thing happened to a girl and it went to court and they threw the court case out because he lied. That's what they do. They want their commission. So do not talk to them at all. So if an officer finds you to be watching recording, there's only one way to find it out, and that's you telling them or you letting them in. If you close the door, there is no investigation. And one of my favourite bits about this, when they say the officer's going to do an investigation, you see at the top, it's addressed to the present occupier, and it starts off, "Dear Sir, Madam." Their investigation's good, isn't it? They haven't even found out who you are. What kind of investigation is this? It's ridiculous. How to stop this visit? Please do one of the following immediately. Buy a licence, funny that. Or move an existing licence to your current address. No, don't want to do that. Or tell us you don't need a licence. Right at the bottom, look, tell us you don't need a licence. So I'd love to see one of these letters, just open it up and just to say, we're just checking whether you need a TV licence or not. If you don't, you can tell us here. Now, you don't have to tell them. I choose to, and I advise people to do so because I like seeing the number, the official number of people declaring they don't need a TV licence grow. That's where I think the power in this movement to defund the BBC is. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to. You can just blank them. You don't have to tell them anything. Throw the letters in the bin. Ignore them on the doorstep. There's nothing they can do. You don't have to have a TV licence. And then another one of my favourite parts of these letters is the big red circle. Now, normally in the big red circle, it says maximum fine of £1,000. This one's just, please get in touch immediately, which is a bit more gentle. Still intimidating, but a little bit more gentle. Once you have contacted us, we will update our records and cancel this investigation. This brilliant investigation that so far hasn't found out our names at the address, which is quite an easy thing to do. And yeah, it's absolute nonsense, absolute nonsense. These letters are designed to scare and intimidate you into paying for something you might not need. Please don't be scared by them. They're usually empty threats. They don't often send people round when they say they're going to. Yeah, there was another letter where it said, will you be in on a certain date at the top? And I got sent that hundreds of times. And I spoke to everybody pretty much who sent it to me. And they all said that they never turned up on that day. But then why would they? Why would they? Because if you tell them the day you come in, the person will go out, won't they? Or just not answer the door that day. Now, whether you're playing a straight game like me, telling them you don't need a licence, or you're just blanking their stuff, you may very well get a visit. But there's nothing to be scared about. They're not anything important. They're not police, they're not bailiffs, they're door-to-door salesmen. I promise you, it's all they are. They're there to earn a commission. And you are well within your rights just to close the door on them. Just close the door on them. I'll put a link to a playlist below of TV licence little short clips that I'm doing at the minute, which show you people just closing the door in their face and they toddle off, go and find some easier prey. And hopefully you were out in the countryside and they've had to drive like 40 minutes to get to you or something, and then they get a door closed in their face and it's 40 minutes back with no commission using their own fuel. That makes me really happy to know that. I'm not a fan of the intimidation tactics. I don't like the intimidating letters and I do not like the intimidating visits. So please don't be scared by it. If you have any questions for me about this, you'll find out how to send me any questions down below. I will answer all your questions about it because please don't be scared. I've got a whole playlist of letters down there as well. So if you've received a letter and you want to send it over to me, check the playlist first just to make sure I haven't already done it because it might be in there and then, you know, you're wasting an email, really. Not that it costs anything to send them. And I like to hear from everybody. Anyway, so send me all your letters, send me all your emails. So what do you think about this letter? I think it's pretty bad. They're basically saying, we're going to send the boys round to intimidate you. That's all this is. Pay us or we'll send the boys round. And it's wrong. And I don't know how they're allowed to get away with it. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. And I'll see you in another video again soon. Thanks for watching.